Now let's get straight to our discussion today. We're looking at the 2023 general elections, and we'll begin with the All Progressives Congress. My guest is in our Lagos office. Here's Muhammad Bulama. He's the Director of New Media of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Mr. Bulama, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I just want to start off by setting a background to your responsibility as Director of New Media, because of how important that office is. So let me ask you, what's your mandate as Director of New Media with regard to the APC campaign and the 2023 general elections?
Well, let me start by correcting you. I'm actually Deputy Director Multimedia, not New Media. New Media is handled by Ms. Sheun Olufemi White.
Thank you.
As for my responsibilities as the Deputy Director New Media, as you will know, the Directorate, that's the Director of Media and Communications, has three directors. First, Festus Keyamo, the Director of Public Affairs, Bayo Onanuga, Director of Media and Publicity, and Mr. Alake, former Commissioner of Information, Lagos State, Director Strategic Communications. So, and under these three directorates, you have 6 sub-directorates, if you like. You have 6 deputy directors, one of which I am, and I'm in charge of, like I said, I'm in charge of multimedia. There are those ones like Hanatu Musawa, who is in charge of public affairs, Malan Lare, Isa Onilu, who is in charge of communication strategy, Isaac Modibo Kao, in charge of media and publicity, and so on. So basically, as news media implies, I am supposed to, with my team, juxtapose, take advantage of everything you have in media, audio, video, digital, what have you. And we're supposed to combine this to the advantage of our candidates.
Mr. Bulama, all right, thank you. That's well noted. Now, considering that you are Director of the Multimedia, I want to draw your attention to the perception on social media, basically because of the level of attention that's been paid to that, and why your party considers it important as well to set up a subcommittee for that purpose. So let me ask you this question. How difficult or otherwise do you think it would be to sell your candidate on social media?
I don't think we have any problem. Just wait until we finally unleash our campaigns on social media and on other platforms. The campaigns are yet to start. They are starting at the end of September. That's in about a month's time. When the time comes, we will prove to Nigerians that we are indeed ready for this campaign. Unfortunately for us, we really have a very sellable asset, so to say, both our presidential candidate and his running mate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima, respectively. These are people who have performed. It's clearly on record. And at the end of telling you all that I have to say to you, I will remind Nigerians to go and verify. But in case I forget, I have already said it, go and verify whatever that we are saying. Kashim Shettima yesterday said that his principal, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and himself are going to replicate what they have done in Lagos and what they have done in Borno. They are there. Everybody knows what Tinubu has done in Lagos State. And anybody who knows Lagos, like myself, before Tinubu came to power, I know Lagos very well, even though I come from Borno State. I schooled at the Federal Government College of Odogbolu in nearby Ogun State. I served in Oyo State, in Isheyi. And I also did my postgraduate studies at the University of Lagos. So I know Lagos very, very well. I know Lagos in the 70s. I knew Lagos in the 70s. I knew Lagos in the 90s and 80s. I know Lagos now. And we know how Bola Ahmed Tinubu transformed Lagos from a crime-infested, indebted, with a state with a lot of infrastructure deficit and increased infrastructure and low income generation capacity to what it is today, a mega city which transformed from a state that was generating as low as 600 million naira per month to over 50 billion naira today. You know, look at all the infrastructure coming up in Lagos, new ports, new airport, new seaport, train services, so on and so forth. There are just too many for me to list here. What Bola Ahmed Tinubu
Mr.
has done in Lagos. Anybody
the reason
knew Lagos before
Mr.
him?
Bulama,
Yes.
the reason I started the conversation with the social media talk is because your party considers social media very important, I'd like to believe, to market its candidates.
Of course we do.
And there are concerns as to how your party will be able to sell a candidate on social media, the same social media, especially Twitter, that your party had banned for some months.
That my party has...
How do you think the acceptance will be when that time comes?
How do you mean? Tell me, how did you verify that my party is not acceptable on social media? What are your indices?
I'm not saying your party is not acceptable. I'm asking how you intend to sell your party on the same social media.
We are going to sell
specifically
our party
Twitter that that Nigerians were banned from using for a while.
We are going to sell our party and candidates on the basis of the verifiable track records that they've had in Lagos and Borno respectively, and which our opponents don't have. Pure and simple. You know, let the presidential candidate of Labour Party show us what he has done. Let him tell Nigerians that he is going to replicate what he has done in Anambra State in Nigeria when he becomes president. Let the presidential candidate of the PDP tell us also he doesn't even have the executive experience. He has never held any executive position. So he was never even in a position to have a track record. The only track record he has is that of selling off Nigeria's assets in the name of privatization. Take, for example, the Delta Steel Company cost Nigeria $1.1 billion, and it was sold for a paltry $30 million by the PDP candidate. So what is going to be difficult? All we are going to do is we are going to compare mangoes with mangoes, apples with apples, their track records. And mind you, the APC...
let me ask you this question.
Let me land,
when you talk about...
Let me land first, please. The APC ticket...
go ahead.
The APC ticket is by far the most outstanding of all the presidential tickets we have today, because both of them have been governors, both of them have been senators, and for that matter, performing governors and performing senators. Show me any of the other tickets where you will have people with this kind of pedigree. None of them. Both of them have exercised executive power as governors. So they know what they are doing. And on the first day, inshallah, on the 29th of May, 2023, they are going to hit the ground running. So it's very easy to sell these things.
Okay, Mr. Bulama, can I come in here now? Let me draw, when you talk about track record and the need to judge candidates based on where they've been, Nigerians would like to know how you can get to convince them on why they should vote for your candidate at a time when the country is looking for a leader that will help in the fight against corruption, and then your candidate has unexplainable wealth. Nigerians would like to know how they can trust a man like that.
Did you say my presidential candidate is corrupt? Or is that what you are suggesting?
I said unexplainable wealth according to Nigerians.
Tell me what is unexplainable in his conduct as senator of Lagos State, as governor of Lagos State, and as a kingmaker and a senior leader of the APC from 1999 to date. Nobody has any corruption case against Bola Ahmed.
No, could you explain the wealth then, since you say it's...
If anything, listen to me, if anything, he was a man who was put in the dock. If you have forgotten, in 2006, I suppose, you know, purely politically motivated attempt to smear his character. They put him in the dock through the Code of Conduct Bureau, and he came out with his hands very, very clean. Since then, nobody has any case against him. Mind you, If people think because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is comfortable, and if they think that he made his money through corruption, let me refer Nigerians back to the fact that even before 92, before he ever stepped into politics in 1992, he was already a millionaire in dollars. He had assets in America, he had homes in America, he had businesses, he was working for a first-class international, multinational company. He was very, very comfortable. As a matter of fact, the reason Bola Ahmed Tinubu ventured into politics was because he wanted to help his country. He wanted to help his community. He wanted to help his state. He wanted to help Nigeria. And that is exactly what he has done. This is a man who has made so many sacrifices for Nigeria, so many sacrifices for the ordinary people. A man who fought the military to a standstill, a hero of democracy. A man who came and transformed Lagos within the twinkle of an eye. And is this the man you will tell us is corrupt?
Mr. Bulama, critics, my question is premised on the submission by critics. It's not a personal question. Critics are trying to understand this man, and I recall that, I'm sure you've seen that also in the social media, that there are allegations against him that are drug-related as well. And Nigerians, since we want to have conversation on issues, have issues-based campaigns, Nigerians want to be clear on who they are voting into power, especially in an era where corruption is thriving in the country, and they need someone who can help tackle corruption.
So, all these stories being told on social media, like you said, these are baseless concoctions of propagandists or people who have nothing better to do. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been subjected to all kinds of scrutiny in his political life, and he has come out clean. He has not had any problem. They tried to rob him in many deals, underhand deals. They have not succeeded. Tell me, just give me one evidence, verifiable evidence, that shows that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is corrupt, or he did drugs, or whatever that they say on social media. Give me one verifiable evidence of all the things they've said against him. This is a man like...
Well, beyond the qualification of the candidates, All right, beyond the qualification of the candidates, Nigerians look to your party as one that's been in power for a while and would have certain yardsticks with which to measure whether or not to continue with the APC or otherwise. One of them is the ASUU strike. There are those who believe that this administration has not handled the ASUU strike well enough. And I started this conversation by asking you about social media. A great percentage of Nigerian youths are on social media. A lot of them now at home tweeting and using social media more because they cannot go to school. Why should Nigerians trust the APC for another 4 years when the government doesn't seem, according to critics again, to be paying attention to education as much as it should?
Thank you very much. I want to challenge you on your assertion that a great percentage of Nigerians are critical about what this government is doing. That is false, palpably false. If you have any evidence, any survey conducted, show me. All these issues are neither here and nor there. And about the ASUU strike, let me tell you that this ASUU issue has been going on for over 30 years today, or nearly 30 years. It has become a very, very protracted and seemingly difficult problem to solve. And I'm speaking to you as an insider. I am seated here. I want to declare to you that I was chairman of ASUU at the University of Maiduguri in the mid-90s. I was a part of this struggle. And never in my expectation or dream did I ever imagine that this crisis is going to be protracted for this length of time. Nearly 30 years today, we've been battling with this issue. Successive governments have done, as a matter of fact, what the Buhari government is taking is the baggage from the 16 years of misrule of our educational sector by the PDP-led government. And I'm telling you, and now that this strike has prolonged this long, I want to assure you that government is doing everything possible. The Buhari government is doing everything possible to make sure that this issue is settled once and for all. Especially because Buhari, in another 9 months, is going to hand over to a newly democratic elected government in 9 months or so. He doesn't want to hand over any baggage to anybody. That's why he wants to do it in a way, in a systematic and deliberate manner that will solve this problem once and for all. And I want to assure Nigerians that that is what is happening. And a Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government, come May 2023, God willing, will deal with
Mr.
this
Mohammed
issue
Bulama, I would like to thank
decisively
you very
and once
much.
and for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming to speak with us. Wish you well as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.